kind of the way we've started to shape our view of nutrition over the last few years here. And like for me, going back like 6 years ago, I first discovered CrossFit, and it was like the paleo buzz was going on. It's like I did paleo, and then it was like how to like get in like the ketogenic stage where you're like burning fat all the time. And so I did that, and then as I actually learned more about CrossFit, I was like, well, CrossFit doesn't actually recommend paleo; they actually recommend zone. And so then I got into zone, and I started counting everything. And like the way I would like categorize these kind of, I think there's like three big buzzwords in CrossFit as you start to like delve into nutrition. There will be things that like come in that can either confuse you or kind of steer you off track. And what Nicole has put together, it accounts for everything. It accounts for like what's realistic, what changes are you willing and able to make, and then kind of moving forward from there. So the name Healthy Steps, like what's the next step? Whether you're advanced and you're really looking at like fine-tune performance, or you're just beginning and you're looking to just take that first step. So paleo, if you categorize like paleo, that's basically anything that's like clean eating, right? So starting to take away artificial sweeteners or foods that have packaging, like that's all moving towards paleo, like very primal. Like if you can't go out and like find it on the ground and eat it, like it's probably not paleo. So anything that's like clean eating, right? And then they're even removing like dairy and like that. That's all. Anything you consider like clean eating is going to be like paleo. Zone is kind of the origins of anything that you're going to count, right? Outside of calories. So the other big buzzword right now is macros. Macros surfaced. The word macros came on the scene like 2 years ago, and everybody's like, oh, counting my macros. Well, if it fits my macros, I can eat it. Okay. So again, that goes back to zone. Zone and Barry Sears are the ones that first started this. Hey, we shouldn't be counting calories. We should be looking at the macronutrients. So your macros, that's your macronutrients, your proteins, your carbs, and your fat. Brian will go into depth on this. So here's what I talk about counting macros. Okay, that kind of goes back to zone. Zone was like a very strict ratio of how to do this. People have gone, well, hey, that ratio isn't good for everyone. So then people have built on top of zone and gone, well, these people need more carbs, and women typically need more fat, and this type of stuff. So, but it all kind of comes back to these ratios that started with Barry Sears and the zone diet. So macros kind of lump under zone. He said paleo is tricky. Like anybody that doesn't like paleo is going to be like, well, you go to the paleo seminar in Austin, Texas, and there's people there that weigh 500 pounds. They're like, yeah, eat paleo, strict paleo. So right, so like just going clean, like you can still mess it up, right? You can get coconut flour and agave nectar, and you can still like really mess it up going paleo. So there's no one answer. Like the most important thing is that like it's a way of eating. It's something that you can actually sustain, right? It's not just like, okay, I'm going to go like strict paleo for 30 days and then it's gone, right? That's a tough thing to do, and it never really works. So the sustainability of the long term is always what we have to be after. So with that being said, we've vetted a ton of nutrition programs the last few years and a ton of nutritionists, and I think this is as good as anything Nicole has. She's actually done this. She's put this into practice with affiliates using their coaching staff, which is what we've been after for the last several years. We vetted her really, really good. She's really legit. So Nicole Marchand, all her stuff, this is all her content. We didn't create this, all her content. And it's, Brian has already been through all the modules online, and he's fully equipped with her information and her kind of credential. And so that will kind of be the backstop for everything we do from this point forward is Healthy Steps in Nicole, and kind of the way she's going to support and educate Brian and our coaches in delivering nutrition. So this is the first step. This is her Nutrition 101. It's designed to be an hour of kind of like just a building block one-time session. So that's what we're doing here today is like we'll try and keep it within an hour, one-time thing, and all the content you guys have. If you are online, you should be able to download it and print it. If you're going to get this via email, we'll attach these documents as well. All right, so everybody should have Power Hour in front of you, and then you should have the sample meal plan with some recipes on the back of it there. All right, and I'll let Brian take it from here.
All right, guys. I don't know why I just thought about this, but I want to do this for some reason. It's weird. It just felt like the thing to do. Guys, thank y'all for spending your Saturday with us going over nutrition. As some of y'all know, I've started a small group that I've run through nutrition, basically leading them through what I've done trial and error wise with me. I grew up. I raised with a silver spoon, but like I was kind of always the fat kid. I I think the reason I work out as hard as I do is because I like to eat. Let me just being honest. But I grew up. I really liked fast food. Had no idea. Just really enjoyed. I remember I used to so look forward to going to McDonald's and stuff like that. And I'm slowly learning. I mean, of course, that we all know that's obvious. That's not a good thing. But in the process of going through, I'd probably say junior high and high school, I just kind of my folks. I was only child, so I kind of got to just eat. I mean, it was like, mom always had to make me something different, and it was always something that wasn't as healthy as her first option. And then finally, she got sick of me, or she got worried for me, and she was afraid that I was going to get obese or whatnot. And I just kind of always was overweight. Mama took me to a dietitian, and I kind of straightened out, and just one thing after another started getting in line with me. A bunch of y'all know my history past high school, but where I'm going with this, guys, is like I kind of like got everything pretty much on track. I learned a lot of things. Mom made very specific lunches for me, very portioned out, and I had a lot of really good results from that just in high school. Just very fit, was able to compete in varsity football and baseball. Taylor High School, Mustang fight never dies. That way. All right. Sorry. No. To be serious, guys, I don't know if you noticed that Taylor blue up there. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You know, even though we are in Tiger Country. Okay. No. In all seriousness, guys, where I'm going with this is like I always liked eating, and I got a lot of enjoyment. Maybe even been a crutch for me. You know, my past history with other substances and stuff like that. I definitely found some comfort in bad food, and there's something to that. And I think other people have experienced that, finding that comfort in some bad decisions of eating. And what I want to go to, guys, is I want to get into what I've learned over the past, let's call it, I guess about for sure 2 years. I've seen very specific dietitians and nutritionists. I've gotten, I think, three I can think of off the top of my head, different certifications, all good. I shouldn't call it certification, a course and a couple certifications, but all from extremely intelligent people who are very successful with their clients, and all just a little bit different from one another. So I've been able to kind of piece together something that led up to this that I found was very beneficial. So I'm going to give you guys little things to add in. I'm not even going to call it tweaks because I'm not trying to tweak anything. I like what she has. But I'm going to give you little things we're going to add in as we go through. But guys, the first one, we're going to go with that power hour. I want you to open it up. Okay. Guys, before we go any further, guys, we're going to determine your baseline and your behavior modification strategies that we need to put in place to achieve this stuff right here, guys. That's going to be the first thing we're going to touch on. Next thing, we're going to go over goal setting, macronutrient breakdown, and what we call the plate method. That's what Nicole uses as far as setting up her meals. From there, we're going to write down some quick goals. We're not going to go crazy in depth. Like I said, this is set up for a one-on-one, but I want you to write something down in here when we get to that spot. I'm going to give you a 1-week sample meal plan that has little things you can adjust on it, but it is extremely beneficial and make your life a whole lot easier for a week. The shopping list for that meal plan is on the breakdown. When you get to the Saturday, Sunday side, it tells you exactly what to buy. Let's see. Then also, guys, I'm going to force you physically to download MyFitnessPal and use it. Because if you're not tracking your stuff, I'm not looking at anybody in particular who has trouble using MyFitnessPal. But guys, here's the thing. If you're not tracking it, you have no idea what you're eating. I'm fine with you writing it down. I gave you 7 days of write down sheets, and I love it. So don't write your foods down yet. Make copies, and then start writing them in. But man, you don't know until you start writing it down. 2 years in prison, I wrote every meal. No joke. I got fat. I got real fat in county jail. And guess what? I said, I'm not doing this anymore. Started writing down meals, writing down everything. That's when I knew I knew what I had just eaten. But Brian, that sucks. It takes so much time. That's annoying. Yeah. So is losing weight. You know, keep that in mind. You know, so is working hard. It's annoying. It sucks. But it makes you better. You know, that's how you learn. That's how you don't make those same mistakes. But that being said, guys, I'll go over how to do MyFitnessPal and all that as we go further. Okay. All right. Okay. So how to determine your baseline? So main thing I want to touch on here, guys, is what does your eating look like? Are you eating clean?
They don't have baseline.
No, right? I'm sorry. My bad,
That's
guys.
the first thing they're looking at is goal setting.
I'm sorry, guys. My bad. All right, guys. On the goals, I want you to write down I had said 3 month and a year, but I feel like those are a little bit too far off. So I want a 1 month goal on your first line. I want a 3 month goal on your second line. Okay. On your 1 month goal, guys, I want you to write down something you know you can do in a month, man. Something, maybe it's drop 4 pounds. So you're looking at, I can drop a pound a week. I can definitely do this. You know, maybe it's something even simpler. I take in 80 ounces of water a day, or I take in half my body weight in ounce of water a day. That would be phenomenal, guys. Something, just a nice short-term 1 month goal. Okay. So if you've got time, you got a pen, write it down. Perfect, guys. Pass that around. Yeah, please. Now, guys, when you're setting these goals, you're looking at a big picture first. What are your health, fitness, weight, financial, education, family goals in specific amount of time, guys? So I want that 1 month. I want to know what you want in this first month. If you already have that written down, I mean, I kind of want to keep it more simple than anything. Let's make that 3 month goal a little more complex, a little more requires just a little bit more work. You know, hey, and it can be flip-flopped. If you're like, well, Brian, I'm going to kill it for a month on my eating, and I'm going to drop X amount of pounds in this first month, then perfect. And maybe my long-term goal is like literally I don't drink enough water, and I know that's totally in my way. So I want to stretch that out. You know, so it's whichever you guys feel the best with on your goals. Okay? Is there any questions on that part of it, guys? I don't want to skip over or do anything that doesn't seem right there. Everything's good? Okay? All right, guys. Now I want to go over okay, guys. So one thing I want to hammer is like your consistency eating, guys. In the past, I've seen where people are like, "Hey, eat every 4 hours." Hey, let's just go with 3 big meals. Hey, I do intermittent fasting. I mean, like all these are all things that work. Intermittent fasting is you might wait all day and then you eat one huge meal at night. And maybe that works for some people. But guys, the one thing we want to think about is like keeping those blood sugar levels pretty constant so we don't overeat, so we don't eat the wrong things, so we don't take in too much at once, or maybe we just go crazy on carbohydrates and fats. We're barely eating protein because that's what we were craving. So guys, that's why I really like, if I'm a busy mom, dad, I'm fine with 3 meals, but I want to keep those meals very balanced. I'll go into what that balance is. If I've got a little more freedom, maybe at the office I've got a little refrigerator, or I can just walk down the hallway and another fridge, I'd like you to have some snacks. I really would like a really balanced snack in there, guys. So just keep in mind, I'm wanting you guys to think about, hey, am I going to eat the 3 solid meals because I'm tight on time and that's all I can get together, or am I going to eat the 5? 5 is what Nicole suggests, and that's the one that's going to keep our blood sugar more constant. Okay, so I really like that 5. The more I've experimented around with our foods, hey guys, one real big one I want to hammer is like liquid intake, and that's not just the water. I want you guys to take in like, hey, how much alcohol do I take in? How much coffee do I take in? How many fruit juices do I take in? Just random stuff like. guys, I mean, pot calling the kettle black. I just want you to know, like, we all have those same struggles. Guys, you're taking in juices, you're taking in probably a whole lot of sugar that you probably don't need. You're taking in sodas, you're taking in some chemicals that you don't need. All of them pretty much are going to be diuretics. They're going to push the water out of your system. That's so important. So like my big push there, guys, is I kind of tell a lot of people, like, if I drink 6 ounces of coffee, I know I have to drink 12 ounces of water to cancel out. I mean, that's more my strategy, guys. But make sure whatever you're drinking for coffee or caffeine or beverage-wise, make sure you drown that out with at least the same amount of water. Okay? That water is crucial for everything. I see here it says, like, how much water do you drink in a day? I like to recommend at least, especially ladies, half your body weight in ounces of water. Men, at least 3/4 your body weight in ounces of water. And guys, like, water in coffee, water in these juices, that doesn't count. Don't count that towards your total ounces. Ice in your scotch, don't count that, guys, okay? Did I say that or was I thinking it? I can say it because I'm a recovered addict, so it's all good. Now, guys, in all honesty, my push for you is maybe your goal. I'm not going to drink any alcohol for 28 days or a month or whatever it might be, man. That'd be phenomenal if you can make that one, guys. So have that in mind, guys. Your hydration is just crucial. Your hydration water is key to metabolism and breakdown of fat. Sugar-sweetened beverages, artificially sweetened beverages, and diet sodas don't count towards your water intake. Focus on getting 60 to 80 ounces of water per day. You can add some fruit, mint, or cucumber to flavor. Guys, if you want to, you could use make some kind of water chart. I know a friend of mine was telling me about their sister has literally has a water bottle that has a little light on top, and the light goes off if she hasn't drank her water in a certain amount of time. I think that's awesome, guys. One thing I always like, my old meathead way is we'd carry a milk jug, and it was actually a milk jug that I filled up with tap water. But you would mark it, and I got to go down to this line every time. I need to make sure I'm drinking this much every hour or whatever. But it doesn't mean I have to drink it out. I can pour it in some ice or whatever. But guys, be real conscious of how much water you're taking in. One thing I want to emphasize, guys, how much are you eating out? And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. That's okay. Especially we go back to all y'all are busy. Everybody I look at here, if you're not on a specific job, you're a parent chasing down lots of kids, getting them to games and stuff like that. That's fine, guys. We just got to make sure we're making the right decisions. One of my my go-tos, I like Zoe's Kitchen. I can always get a solid option there. I like Nuke's Deli. I can always get a good salad there. And guys, when we go and get these salads at places, always get that salad on the side. Dip your fork in it, like the tines, not the handle, and eat your salad like that, guys. That's a nice little. Give it a little bit of flavor, whole lot of fiber. Okay, so let's go easy on that. That's just a nice little option there. Guys, when you're eating out, you can always ask for foods plain. You always have the option. Hey, let me get this grilled. Let me get this. I don't know if you could ask for a grilled, broiled, whatever your option is there. Another option I want to say, I thought local table is a great option, but still be smart, guys. I'm giving you some potential. Hey, we want to go out to eat. We don't want to cook tonight. Let's go look at local table. I even like Elevation Burger. Probably not the best one, but it's a better option on a burger than any other burger place. At least you've got organic grass-fed meat. Your fries are cooked in olive oil. Just little bitty stuff. That's just better for your health in the long run. And that doesn't mean every night, guys. I'm talking about here and there. Another thing I really liked that Nicole uses, guys, let's try to drop the word cheat and cheat meal. I mean, whenever you hear the word cheat, each one of you has something different in your head what cheat means. And but it's not good. There's nothing good about the word cheat. I mean, really. So why don't we change our word to treat? Okay? So I'm going to give myself a treat for this meal. And I'm not going to sweat it. Okay? If you guys, I'm a real big believer. If you're craving something, eat some. Like, let's say I'm craving pizza. I'm going to get a slice. If I'm craving Reese's peanut butter cups, I'm going to go to the store. I'm not going to buy the king size. I'm going to buy the regular. Unless, you know what? I'm dead set on this king size. I'm going to eat every one. Once you get 2 down, I hope you feel horribly guilty and throw those other 2 away. Okay? Do not have that stuff in the house, guys. Nice little trick. If you know it's trouble for you, don't have it in the house. Okay? So have that in mind, guys. Let's see here. Guys, you can always ask for vegetables instead of rice. You can always ask for a salad instead of some kind of mashed potatoes or whatever's on the side that you don't need. You can make a choice of a sweet potato without anything on it. Get it bare. You know, I can eat a sweet potato without anything on it. It's prepared well. So, you know, if you haven't ever tried it before, try just eating a sweet potato with nothing on it. It's pretty good. One thing I want to remember, like sweeteners, guys, that was huge. You can't mess that stuff. It's chemicals. Your body doesn't know what to do with it. If you need something to sweeten it, put sugar or brown sugar in there. Use it. We don't want sugar. It's going to cause inflammation in our system, but at least your system knows how to handle it. If you go into eating like sucralose, like, you can barely even say it. You know, it's horrible for your system. I mean, it's kind of like my past. I made a lot of bad decisions. Okay. All right, so don't make bad decisions on your choices of sweeteners, guys. If you need something, another option, stevia. Stevia is a little plant-based, and it's not going to be as tough on you. And actually, that's the one sweetener I do use. Okay, guys. Now I want to go over the macronutrients, guys. Here, or let me make sure I've covered. I wanted to cover here. Okay, guys. We're going to go over the where it says Nutrition 101, Food for Fuel. Sorry, guys. ADHD at times, but I want to tell you what I hope you guys can follow me as much as possible, because what I'm telling you is what's so important. I mean, like, honestly, I just want to vomit good information that I've learned, and that's a bad word, but I want you to think about it. But so, guys, we're at the top there at that Nutrition 101, Food for Fuel. Carbohydrates are your body's main source of fuel. It spares protein from being used as energy and aids with oxidation or breakdown of fat. Carbohydrates should comprise about 40% of your diet. So, guys, now we're going to get away from some of the stuff we've kind of had trouble with before. Guys, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be eating these carbs. These carbs are bad. Good carbs are what you want, guys. You want quality carbohydrates. So first one, guys, we're going to touch on is fiber. Non-digestive carbohydrate, guys, we all know what that is. It's going to make you go potty, but that's a good thing, guys, because it cleans all the junk we have bound up in our system out of our system. I'm just going to go over the benefits there. Decrease cholesterol levels, aids with reducing triglyceride levels. Fiber is found in fruits, veggies, and whole grains. So, guys, our primary source should be, I don't like that fruits was said first there. Your primary source should be vegetables. And then maybe a piece of fruit a day a piece of fruit a day to maybe 2 pieces of fruit a day. Don't go over that, guys. You start getting into a little too much fructose or fruit sugar. Whole grains, guys. Whole grains are okay, you know. And some of y'all, they're not, and I get that. Now, if your doctor has told you, oh my gosh, you are so gluten intolerant, it's going to cause inflammation. I've had that conversation with Cherie before. Man, I don't want to mess with it. And half the time I screw up, and I'm like, hey, Cherie, what about your oatmeal? She's like, Ryan. I'm like, sorry. So just know that, guys. That's going to cause those. That may cause issues. Don't mess with it. You guys, one thing I want to emphasize, I am not a nutritionist. I am not a dietitian. Do not ever assume I'm trying to cure anything for you. I'm just trying to help you make better decisions on your nutrition. I always try to lead in with that, even if it's a one-on-one. But keep in mind, guys, if your doctor's told you something, man, and I'm telling you something different, I'm wrong and they're right, always. Okay? So just being serious, that's one thing I want you guys to have in mind. Okay, guys, glycemic index foods basically tell us how fast our blood sugar will rise after eating a food. So, guys, like those bananas are going to be high glycemic. Watermelon, high glycemic. If you want something that's high glycemic, your best option will be right after your workout. That's when your body's like, hey, I need this stuff, man. It's going to help refuel me. So have that in mind. If we're going with carbs there that are high glycemic, you're just like, man, I got to get it in today, man. Have it right after your workout. That would be your better option there. GI indicates how much of an insulin response our body will have to reproduce the breakdown of what we just ate. Remember, insulin response is an inflammatory response. So, guys, that inflammation, it can be dangerous for us. After your exercise is the best time to have high glycemic foods. We're going to, okay, well, I've already hit on the 2 fruit servings. We're going to try to avoid excess artificial sweeteners. Guys, don't use them. It's not necessary. Like I said, if you need some, go sugar, brown sugar. What about different types of sugar? Agave, honey, raw sugar, sugar cane, dextrose, maltose. Sugar is sugar. In our body, it all goes through our lymphatic system and is an inflammatory response. If you don't burn it off, it goes to fat. So, guys, we're trying to avoid sugar. So we're trying to maybe avoid that little sweet tooth that we think we need. And guys, I'm just as guilty. So don't think I'm not. I'm trying to make adjustments right now. Okay, so sources of starch, guys. If you look down there, there's some that aren't bold. Okay, and there's some that are. The bold are the ones we would prefer you use. Okay, the other stuff's okay in moderation, but the bold stuff is what we want. Now, guys, it says rice. I like brown rice better. I learned that from Aaron Palmer, just because it's got some fiber, and we like fiber. Fiber's good. Okay, anything that keeps you using the potty regularly is a good thing. So the quinoa is great. Oatmeal, I prefer old-fashioned. The beans are not lit up because they can cause inflammation. If you've ever been around me, you know this. Where's my sweet wife? Okay. Guys, I'm just saying my tummy looks bloated when I eat beans. Where are you going with this? Okay. Sweet potatoes, butternut squash, awesome. Different kind of squash. Yes, Carrie? You know what's funny? For me, steel cut's a little too thick for me. Like, it's almost like I have to hit the exact right amount of water. I love to put a little crock pot out. My wife does this too, with some fruit in it, like a lower glycemic fruit, and leave it overnight and let it cook overnight. But the steel cut oats are a great option. I think they're very similar. I mean, it's kind of like one of those 6 in this hand, half dozen in the other. Very, very similar. I want to say it's a smaller serving of steel cut oats has a higher carbohydrate grams of carbohydrates. I want to say it's like 2/3 to a half cup would be the equivalent when it comes old fashioned to steel cut. That makes sense.
You'll pause for a second. Any other questions here? We've kind of covered a lot of information through hydration and everything else, and then now up to carbohydrates. Maggie?
I don't know a whole lot about jasmine rice, so I don't want to tell you there, but I can find out. So here, guys, this was the other thing we didn't. So here's what's really cool. Now, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist, but anything you've got for me, bring it to me. Not necessarily in comments, but bring it to me, and I'll get an email together for Nicole, because she can answer all this stuff. That is the one thing that is nice. Like, hey, if we got somebody specific, I can get your questions answered. Just like I don't know, I'm going to find out. We want to limit it. It's going to be a little more, just because it's bleached, a lot of the nutrients are kind of knocked off it. So it doesn't have the fiber. It's not necessarily a no-no, though. It's still quality as long as we keep it in a small amount.
So that's the thing, right, is portions, right? So, I mean, that's going to be your starchy carb for your meal. Like, what would be the mistake is I'm not going to have any vegetables or any fruits with this meal, and it's going to be all rice, right? So whether it's white rice, brown rice, whatever, the right portion is going to be better than, I'm eating the mistake that some people can make is, I'm having brown rice, that's the healthier option, so I'm going to have more of it, right? So, I mean, it's starchy. I mean, any of this stuff, it's all going to go in the same place on your plate, whether it's bread, pasta, rice, quinoa, beans, oatmeal. I mean, we're splitting hairs. If you're nailing your portions and it's paired with vegetables and a lean protein, you nailed it, right? If you prefer brown rice to white rice or white rice to brown rice, then go with it. Okay? Does that make sense, Joe?
That is money.
No,
that's fine.
Don't fry it with butter.
Hey, if it's grass-fed butter, it's okay, right?
And we'll get in the oils and your fats, and we'll get there. But that's a whole nother deal. Is how it's prepared, right? So that's coming. All right. So any more questions up to where we're at now? All right, take us away, Palmer.
All right, is it rolling?
We're rolling, yeah.
Okay, guys. All right, guys. So I'm flipping away from carbohydrates, and we're gonna go to protein. Okay.
Oh, they had asked about like jasmine rice versus white rice, just regular white rice or brown rice. And we just talked more about the portion and how it's prepared is going to be more important than splitting hairs here in this bottom section of, what are your starches whatever that is, any of these are good options. If you're in this bottom category and it's one of those, you're doing pretty good. It's just what it's paired with and how much of it you eat that's more important. Sorry, they couldn't hear the question.
So, guys, to reiterate, we're going to hit here. I mean, portions, everything, guys. Finding that sweet spot. Okay. Protein. Protein is made from amino acids that provides our body's structure, regulates body function, components of enzymes, immune system health, and aids in hormone regulation. Protein should comprise about 30% of your diet. Now, guys, one thing I just want to touch on, and I think I'm probably going to repeat something later, but all the guys who can't eat before they work out, you're doing yourself a bad thing. Even if it's a shake or something, maybe it's a little bit of, I don't know, guys, you need to eat before you work out. Maybe not like as you're walking in the door, good golly, don't do that. But like within 30, 40 minutes, you got to eat before you work out, guys, because your body, I don't know if you caught earlier where it says if you don't have carbohydrates, it uses your protein as your main fuel source. Now, guys, that means stored up protein. That good stuff. Yeah, that good stuff, that's what it's going after. So keep that in mind. Everything you just worked so hard for, you're working off. Okay, so guys, that's the only thing, it's really touchy about fasted exercise. Be smart on what you're, on a nice balanced snack with protein and carbs. Let's kind of keep the fat out before workout because it's going to slow down getting that to that muscle. Okay? Sorry, I want to be cheesy there. It's my style. Good. All right. Protein, essential amino acids, can't be synthesized by the body. Therefore, we need to obtain these proteins from food sources. Eggs contain all essential amino acids. Okay, guys, now let me say this real quick. Whole bunch of cholesterol, high fat, so be smart, especially if your doctor said you've got crazy high cholesterol. Be smart. I would only eat eggs every other day. Don't eat them every day. They're like a top 7 allergen, and Aaron Palmer specified, Brian, don't eat eggs every day. You could make yourself, you get yourself in a bind. And don't be afraid to just go like 2 eggs and an egg white, or 1 egg and 2 egg whites, or such like that. So you're still getting some really good protein in with it, and you're getting a little bit of cholesterol and fat out. So have that in mind, guys. But I probably wouldn't get in the habit of eating eggs every day. I mean, maybe 2 days on, 1 day off. And like some people are like, well, what do I eat instead? Grass-fed beef would be wonderful. Something like, you can eat chicken, guys. I know it's like, this is breakfast. Guys, make it happen, Captain. It's all about the physique. All right. Now, sorry, guys. Okay, so complementary proteins are 2 more foods. When are eaten together, they provide all essential amino acids. Legumes or beans and rice, mushrooms and broccoli. I knew beans and rice. I had no idea about mushrooms and broccoli. But, man, mushrooms and broccoli would be great to add to about any meal. Guys, be careful. Just like Tater said earlier, be smart in your portion of beans. It's okay. I mean, if your body's cool with beans, man, beans are solid, man. It's a great fuel source if it doesn't cause inflammation in your body. Okay? Let's see here. Okay, guys, so our sources. Now, guys, here's where I learned a huge lesson. I want to, and I'll give Cherie some big-time props here. She kind of she put it in my head. But, guys, lean meats. So fish, chicken breast, pork loin, legumes, cottage cheese, 000 Greek yogurt, turkey. So, guys, you see she's got listed cottage cheese as a lean meat. Now, guys, this is non-fat. So your dairy that she does approve of is non-fat. So keep that in mind. But what I found from my diet, when I started backing off my fattier meats and cutting back on my red meats, I started dropping more body fat. I didn't realize how high my fat was until I really started paying attention to MyFitnessPal. I don't know if I told you guys about that, but it's pretty important to use. If you don't, I'll explain later how to do it. I'm going to repeat myself 7 more times on that, so be ready. Okay? Okay, so guys, medium fat meats, 1 protein plus 1 fat. Cheese. Now, guys, she really emphasizes, here's the deal. If you want cheese in your diet, your waistline's either going to hold steady or it's going to get a little larger. So just know that. Okay? So, like, when I say cottage cheese, as long as it's non-fat, I'm good with it, or she's good with it. But if it's the higher milk fat cottage cheese, think about your waistline. That's what she did in her seminar. She's like, anything with cheese, you could get in trouble as far as the waistline goes. Okay. Chicken, dark meat. So chicken, good stuff. More the thighs. You're looking at a little more fat involved, guys. High fat meats, full fat dairy, red meats, bacon, most cheese, pork, ribs, and eggs. So guys, you see she has eggs as a high fat meat there. So guys, here we go back to we're sparingly. We're using this a little less often. But you can make that egg a really lean egg if you take the yolk out. Okay, so I'm not saying take the yolks out all the time or anything like this. That's a lot of good stuff in a yolk. So understand that. But if you're watching your protein intake to fat.
Does that make sense to you? Like, it can be difficult to consume protein without consuming too much fat. Okay, especially with red meat, eggs, everywhere you turn, your protein has fat with it too. So it's really tricky to, as you're trying to consume enough protein to support exercise and intense exercise, to not overdo it on the fats. Okay, so that's a tricky thing, and that's why that first category, these are things that you don't have to worry about it with, right? Fish, chicken, pork loin, legumes, fat-free cottage cheese. There's no fat with that, because what happens then is we have our protein, red meat with fat, and then we use oil to prepare our vegetables, and now the fat content for this meal is through the roof. Does that make sense? So a lot of people the people that I've seen that have their carbs dialed in. They're eating healthy carbs. They're not eating too many, and they still can't do the things they want to do. Start looking, their fat intake is through the roof, right? I mean, we kind of like, oh, the high fat thing, the craze of the 90s was like, oh, it's all fat, and fat was demonized. And then we came back and like, oh, no, it's not fat, it's sugar. But at the end of the day, it's both, right? Like, way too much fat is bad. Way too many carbs are bad, especially if they're those high glycemic carbs. Does this make sense to y'all? The protein and the fat, you really have to watch. If you're, especially if you're about to use oil to prepare something else, you really got to shoot for lean proteins. Okay. All right, Palmer.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you're already, if you're eating ribs, you better keep all the other fat out of that meal if you want to be even remotely balanced, right? And even, I mean, really, you don't have a chance. Like, the fat there is so high. And the cholesterol, yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, as well as health, yeah. So. Guys,
she encourages, as soon as you can, watch the movie Fed Up. It'll go over the difference between, or like what happened, what Tate was just talking about. Oh, fat's bad. So they start loading things with sugar and et cetera, how it's gone through. So if you get a chance, watch Fed Up. I haven't seen it yet, but that's one of her big things, is a big push to see Fed Up. It'll kind of go over what we were just hammering on there. FED up. Yes, sir. That's what I was going to say. Oh, I didn't.
So
I was going to ask, not say, because I was one of them. Perfect. All right, guys. Now, fat is a component of our membranes, particularly in the brain and nervous system, aids in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, and is used as a source of energy. We need fat. Healthy sources of fat from nuts and seeds should comprise about 30% of our diet. Hey, guys, you see that? 30% of fats from nuts and seeds. It didn't say anything about meats. So have that in mind, guys. So you're making a choice to have a fatty meat. You know what I mean? But recommended, like, we go back to our day one. If you were ever in here for our chalk talk, eat meats, or it says very specific on what you're supposed to eat on that very first line of our little spiel. And guys, so keep that in mind. That's going to be your higher quality fats are going to come from your nuts and seeds. Okay, so just make sure you're accounting for, just like Tate said, with how you're preparing your meals. Limit the saturated and stay away from trans fats. So guys, you're just trying to make sure you're staying away from those bad fats, and that's where the cholesterol comes in. So they increase your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. Trans fat also decreases HDL, good cholesterol, so it's going to increase both, and that's a bad situation. Increase omega-3 intake, guys. Now here is where I'm going to strongly suggest a supplement, guys. One thing I don't push enough because I just don't think about it, fish oils. Really high-quality fish oils. The two best ones I know of are Stronger, Faster, Healthier, and Pure Pharma. And I'm not just saying that because they're right over there. I literally can tell you where to get a big bottle of Stronger, Faster, Healthier for pretty cheap. And when you look at your fish oils, you want to look at the EPA and the DHA on the back. And most of them, The better ones you can buy in the bottle are going to have about 600 per 2 pills, I think, or 3 pills. And if you get a chance, you got to look at the Stronger, Faster, Healthier or the Pure Pharma. I think Pure Pharma is 1,200. The Stronger, Faster, Healthier is over 2,000. But you're recommended to get at least 1,500 milligrams of EPA, DHA in a day. So guys, that fish oil is huge in like brain function. I always learned it's kind of even lubricating joints, getting you healing up faster, but it's just an essential fat. So I strongly suggest a good fish oil supplement. I take mine first thing in the morning.
You're good.
Okay, so sources of fat, guys. Meats, dairy, nuts, nut butter, avocados, olives, butter, cream, coconut milk. All right, guys, let's turn that page to reshape your plate. Okay.
Let's go to questions. Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Any questions on the protein and the fat there? For intake, anything like yes, ma'am. I don't have as much experience with that, sweetie. I'm literally going to ask, but I've heard really good things there. I would go straight to the bottle, turn it over, and look at that EPA, DHA, and that's going to kind of be the telltale. If it's really low, like if those two numbers added together don't make the number 600, I would look out. I mean, not mean look at it. I would just find another source. It doesn't mean it's bad, but you just need more of it.
So it's a specific type of fish oil, right? Like it is fish oil. Again, like the quantity and then the quality of like where you're buying it and what it is.
I've heard very good things about it too. I just don't have as much experience with that, Carrie. If you are messing with butter, yes, I would definitely go grass-fed. Kerrygold, it's going to be your best option. You can get that at H-E-B. Costco sells those big bricks pretty cheap.
If you don't understand, does everybody understand why grass-fed? Like we talk about grass-fed meat or grass-fed butter in that question. It's that. It's the type of fat and the fat profile that's in it. In those things is much healthier than from non-grass fed. Okay, so that it relates to the quality of your fats. What's that?
No, less hormones. They're eating what they're supposed to eat. And like the way I learned, also cows aren't meant to eat grain. I mean, they can, but
here's the thing, though, right? Like if you go overboard with grass-fed butter, you're still gonna end up with too much fat in your diet, right? So it's a quality choice. That's like pushing towards kind of the paleo concept of quality fats. It's good. It's important for your health. You still have to mind the quantities. Okay, so you can't go, oh, well, it's grass-fed beef, but it's the fat content is through the roof. I'm gonna make a bunch of grass-fed burgers and think I'm eating healthy. Okay, yeah, the fat profile is healthier, but if the portions and the quantity is out of whack, you're still gonna run into issues, and you're not gonna get results.
And guys, like another thing for me was really helpful. Like half the time, like after I finish a meal, I'll check my MyFitnessPal and go, oh wow, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And I may even be able to eat a little something to kind of balance out my number there. That's just something that I do. I'm pretty specific on that thing, or trying to get as close to my numbers as possible, and that's when I've really seen more body fat loss and stuff like that. Okay, so have that in mind. As you look over there, you're gonna see different little pictures there. But this is what she suggested, something to keep in mind for like what's a portion of grains, what's a portion for protein, what's a portion for fruit, what's your veggie portion, what's your dairy portion. You know, I think the coolest thing about it, like if you really think about what she's got a picture of there, okay, a camera is the size of my veggies, but a marker is the size of my dairy. You know, I mean, that's a big difference there, and I like that. So guys, let's go over there to that reshaped plate. Drink up, guys. We're going back. Our hydration. Focus on water, guys. Make sure you're getting plenty of water and cut back on the sugar-sweetened beverages or artificially sweetened beverages or juices. Load up on whole foods, whole grains, fruits, and vegetables provide you with the fiber, vitamins, and minerals that your body needs. So you guys, kind of like, I think of it as more of a complete carbohydrate. You're not just getting this. You're getting a little bit of everything. That's why we're going to push towards eating that whole grain if we are eating grains. Fiber plays a huge role in to help body stay full. keep you regular and aids in lowering cholesterol. Guys, I'm real big, especially in my nutrition group. It's 13 ladies, so it's always nice to go, all right, how much are you going to the bathroom a day? Well, I mean, I pee all the time. That's not what I'm asking. I know none of y'all do that, but guys, you should be at the very least, going number 2 one time a day. The way I learned it from Aaron Palmer was you should go after each meal just like a baby does. If you're bound up, we need to figure out some things. That's why you guys always see some crazy sauerkraut or some pickle sitting by something that a pickle doesn't go with. Man, that stuff will clean your tummy out. It's all healthy probiotics. That's something down the road. But just something, guys, you should be using the restroom real regular. That's a huge part of my plan for fitness. The more we can get stuff out, the more our body can repair off the good stuff. The better we keep our insides. Okay, cut back on sugar. It's going to cause inflammation in your body, not good inflammation. I guess most inflammation isn't good unless it's healing something up. Beware of hidden sources of sugar in those juices, granola bars, and processed foods. Guys, one thing she really hammers, guys, if you I'm sorry, go, Carrie.
Sorry, I have a question about inflammation.
Okay.
What are the signs of...
Man, I don't have a very specific off the top of my head, but definitely like loss of range of motion in joints.
It's more like injuries.
So super groggy in the morning, like can't wake up, can't kind of get clear headed in the morning. Kind of stiff, achy joints, big sign of inflammation. What's that? Fatigue, like not able to sustain energy levels, all signs of inflammation. Like really lingering soreness, can't recover from workouts.
I just sort of recently found out I have a strong allergy to certain foods that are my favorites. And so I cut them out of my diet. Well, once in a while, I go back to the dark side and I have that food, and 2 days later, I'm like puffy here, and you can see it in the mirror. Like you can see it looking at yourself, and the puffiness is just, if you take it out of your diet and put it back in, sometimes it doesn't affect you the same way. But for me, the inflammation is my elbow hurts. Like, you know what? My face feels it. I'm stuffy, and it's amazing the difference. So
Yeah.
You'll see. You can take it out.
And you can't emphasize hydration enough. Like, inflammation also comes from just dehydrated tissues, right? So hydration. You'd be amazed at what getting hydrated properly can do. So many people. I mean, we used to get it more in U of H. Guys going like, my back hurts right here, coach. My back. I'm like, how much? And what it would come down to is the kids were dehydrated and their freaking kidneys were hurting. Yeah, like 19, 20-year-old healthy kids, but they're drinking alcohol all weekend. They're training their butts off and practicing. They're not drinking any water. And yeah. So you got to push that water inflammation. That can, you got to start there. Always start there.
Is iced tea the same as coffee? If you drink iced tea, it's the caffeine.
Caffeine, yeah.
I would still drown it out. Yes, don't count it as water soup.
So, I mean, you talk about like you wear full milk dairy products, some of the guys that take protein drinks, whatever, like they always take water. I cannot stand it. I think it tastes gross. So I always try to do it like with milk, but now I don't do it with milk. So you like
Almond milk or coconut water? Almond milk or coconut water or coconut milk would be your better option. Coconut water. Make sure you like the taste of coconut water first.
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna say. So here's the thing. So now you've got fat and sugar in there with it, right?
But keep in mind, post workout.
Just choke, or just choke it down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh, I mean, it's not that hard. It's not for like, hey. I mean, woo.
Not going to affect me nutritionally. I mean, from a fat.
No.
No.
It's just kind of a cleanse. I actually do the same thing. I do the same thing. Never cleanse.
Maybe actually.
So I do sparkling water a lot. Is that going to count as water still, or is carbonation?
I wouldn't count it as water. I would kind of re-drown it out because I believe the carbonation is going to mess with it's going to cause you to dehydrate at some point. I'm not telling you facts. I'm telling you what I learned. I'm going to make sure I touch on that though.
So say that again, with carbonation,
I might be wrong on that, but the way I've learned it, yes, it basically gets in the way.
Because it's a chemical that makes it carbonate.
Yeah. It's another gas. So I'll have to find out. I don't want to tell you anything factual on that because I don't know. I'm not a for sure answer on that one. So I'll find out a definite. But everything I've ever learned is like, if it's not H2O, it's not what you want. I mean, it's not gonna kill you, but it could. Just kidding. No, just water, guys. You can't go wrong with water there. Okay. Any more questions, guys?
One last question.
Green tea. What do you think about green tea? I've heard a lot.
It's a-
There's a cause about it.
What I've known, it's just it's kind of like treat it just like coffee, sparingly. Don't drink it all the time. But it'd be nice. I would drown it out with whatever water. It probably, honestly, tea would be a little bit less, just because it's not as it's sort of alkaline or acidic as some of the coffee.
Yeah, and green tea has less caffeine, so it's like a better option, right?
Yep.
But
That
it's
yeah.
not something we want to like make a staple of our hydration routine. It's not.
All right, so for me, like one of my goals is to lose the weight, but I love Coke, right? I don't care if it's Coke Zero, Diet Coke, regular Coke, it's Coke, right?
Satan! Sorry.
My goal is to get rid of that, right? Or at least to reach one of my goals, right? Maybe one, I don't know, but I have to think about it, pray about it. Right. But so with water, they have, they sell those flavored water stuff, right? And I showed you one at the house. I don't know if you remember it. That seems to be much better than others. Do what? Yeah. Yeah, like a couple of, like is that? You do not recommend any of that either. I mean, it's cutting out Coke, but it's.
Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, water. There's nowhere. You still got. You can drink it, but you better balance it out. With
You guys,
water.
let me give you something on this. Get like what you're talking about. If you watch Fed Up, they'll show you like pictures of your brain on sweeteners and on sugar. And the thing, here's the thing with artificial sweeteners. There are thousands of times sweeter than sugar. So that's why you freaking love them and crave them. It literally, like the way your brain looks on artificial sweeteners, looks just like they put a brain on cocaine and a brain on artificial sweeteners. You can't tell the difference.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Like the satiety receptors going nuts in your brain, like it's that powerful stuff.
sugar. It's a sweetener.
Even stevia, yeah.
You want to minimize.
But what about straight Diet Cokes and Coke Zero? Because I'm vegan, and we're doing the 21-day standard process. We have to give it up. I found cocoa water at Costco. It has 15 calories. It has wheat, stevia, whatever the one thing you can have, and I only have one a day. Just it's that coconut water, and it has the pulp, it has the fizz, and it tastes real clean. It's not the lemon, not the pomegranate, or the other one, and it helps me because I want to. But I'm only on day 5.
Yeah, I mean that's a good strategy. Look, like focus on water. Look, if you go like if you're in that place, what I would tell you is get the gallon jug and focus on your water, and then focus on eating enough vegetables. If you focus on enough vegetables in your diet and enough water in your diet, those cravings are going to get much lower, and you'll be able to get down to one a day, and you'll be able to get rid of it very quickly. Stop focusing on that and what you can replace it on, and focus on the things that you have to take in first. And go, look, okay, if I get all my water, if I'm at the mark by lunch, then I'll give myself a treat and I'll have a Diet Coke with my lunch. But what's going to happen is you're not going to get your water, and if you do get your water, you're going to notice that you're like, hey, I worked too hard to get to my water. I don't even want the Diet Coke. I'm telling you. Same deal. Keep focusing on your hydration and the nutrition. Look, what I would tell you is if you love Coke Zero, then fine, Coke Zero is your treat. Don't look at what you replace it with, because you're going to do the same thing that we do with grass-fed butter, is go, oh, well, I'm drinking green tea instead of Diet Coke, so I'm going to drink a bunch of it. Focus on the things that you're supposed to be consuming, and then everything else is a treat on top of that. Okay? So get to lunch and go, look, if I've had all my water at lunch, then I'm going to have a Diet Coke, and guess what? If you've had all those things, the Diet Coke's not going to kill you either. Okay? It may actually kill you, but it's not going to kill your progress and kill your results. Okay? That's a whole nother discussion. Does that make sense, you guys? Focus on the water. Focus on what's on your plate, and then a treat's a treat. A Diet Coke is what it is. If you're getting everything else, now if you're drinking Diet Coke instead of water, now you've got the problem.
So going back to your, if you are logging your stuff to, if you have that soda, make sure you log it, and be precise. Just because it's gonna add those calories in, it's gonna let you know things. Now, guys, there's no substitute for water. There's never gonna be a substitute for water. Yeah, all right, guys. So is there any more questions?
I just want to add a little bit to that. We had a goal session last weekend. We talked about getting rid of all the toxic relationships in your life. And it's not so much the people that you associate with, but the toxic relationships that you have with food or drink. Realize how much harm it's doing to you. So if you have an addiction to something that you realize is harming you, do your best to get rid of that relationship. Is it going to be hard or easy? It's going to be hard, but focus on that, realizing that it's not doing you any good.
And you're always gonna have more success focusing on if you gotta stop hanging out with your bad friends. It's hard to just sit at home on Friday night. What you need is different friends, better friends. So that's what we're coming back to. Like, focus on drinking the water, focus on getting the right things on your plate, and I promise you the Diet Coke's gonna take care of itself. Okay,
It's true.
True too.
If it ain't at the house, it's hard to drink one.
All right.
All right,
plate
guys.
method.
Let's get you a little bit further. That's great stuff. Now, all right, guys, we're going to the next page. We just flipped over from the little sum up limit process junk, and we're going to the plate method. Okay, so guys, this is one of the simplest methods of looking to change your diet, quality of foods. A quarter of your plate is protein, lean protein, guys. A quarter of your plate is your starch, and half your plate is non-starchy vegetables. Pretty basic, guys. You can like eyeball your plate and know that. I have a 10. Go ahead, Sudie. I don't know. About normal. My plate's about like that.
Don't overthink it, guys. Normal plate.
Right.
But if you're doing like I did chili last night, but ground turkey and turkey sausage, potatoes, how do you portion that out into your fitness?
I would measure it by liquid amount, like a cup, and I would dig around and see what. And this isn't the end all be all, but like I look at some of the stuff that's in that. Like I look for paleo turkey chili, paleo MG, or whatever. I look at the ingredients. I try to get something so close to what was in that cup. I mean, guys, here's another thing I didn't stress: measure everything. If you want to be precise, get you a scale. Start measuring stuff. If you can't go wrong if you're measuring it. Yeah, that looks like 8 ounces. You don't know, guys.
Hey, and if you will spend a week, you guys, if you will spend a week.
Spices and stuff like that, but there's whatever, you just put that in there and you portion it out. Because if you made like a pound of whatever, then it's easier for me to figure it out. And I put this up, I let everybody, I divide out everyone's portions. And
Ashley, you had a question?
I think it was Christ that you were talking about. I think on my fitness pal, you can actually, if you have recipes that you make every week regularly, you can put those ingredients in and just tell it how many you make of it, and it'll have the nutritional value and what the portion size is, what your calories, your fat, your everything that's coming from that.
Oh, awesome.
Like, and I think HEB and Kroger, I think, are a lot of their stuff in black when they're on their ingredients, so you can actually break out. It's just, maybe you cook the same thing every week.
Gotcha.
It's pretty neat features like this. You can name it whatever, homemade chili or whatever you want to.
I hadn't gone that deep into my food. I literally just log it. I've been kind of digging around trying to find, so that's awesome. That's good.
The old zone trick, like the original CrossFit Journal zone article, was like spend a week weighing and measuring everything, and then you'll know exactly what portions are. And it's very, very true. If you will get a scale and you'll spend a week measuring and weighing everything, you will have a very good idea of what portions are. And you'll be able to look at plates at restaurants and go, oh, that's 3 blocks of carbs, that's 2 blocks of protein. You'll know right offhand. But you have to measure it and get a grip first.
All right, guys, any questions from that part before I move on to the meal plan? Okay, guys, so this comes with a sample meal plan. Now, guys, everything that has the 3 stars by it, the recipe is in this little booklet, okay? So like I look down, I already see, wait a minute, what the heck's Amish oats? If I look back there, I just got to flip through, guys. You'll see it might say dinner recipe on top, lunch recipe. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you something about this. I want to make sure I don't forget. But that recipe is in this little packet. So if it says 3 stars by it, just flip further back. It should be in there, okay? Now, guys, here's the deal. Let's say I look at this, and I'm like, there is no way I'm going to eat oats and almond slivers for breakfast with an egg muffin. That's fine, guys. You can swap out in the rows. You can't swap down, but you can swap across. Okay? Exactly. You can swipe left, you can swipe right, and switch it out, but you can't go up or down. This is kind of laid out specifically so that the starches get less and less as the day goes on. Okay?
Okay, so you can't switch breakfast for dinner.
Nope. You can switch breakfast for another day's breakfast, but you can't switch breakfast with dinner. Does that make sense, guys? Now, guys, of course, we all work out at different times, so your post-workout and your snack may be moved around there, so keep that in mind. But I want to reiterate, guys, make sure you're eating a little something before you work out, a carb and a protein, so that you're not gobbling up all that hard work you guys put in here for PRs and the stuff that you do. Okay. So, guys, if you're looking to lose, especially it says women looking to lose weight, stick on the low end of the portion size. It says 2/3 to 1 cup, etc. Let's stick, guys, we're going to stick more towards the higher end. Ladies will stick more towards that lower end on that. Women looking to improve performance, gain muscle, and men looking to lose weight should stick with the middle of the range. Men looking to improve performance should focus on the high range. Okay? Guys, if you need some more recipes, it gives you the website right there, and there's a bunch of pretty solid recipes right there. Actually, I really like them. Guys, get in the habit of logging your food into MyFitnessPal. I don't want to, if you have MyFitnessPal questions, like how to set it up or how to use it or whatever, guys, man, hit me after this. I don't want to slow down. I want to make sure we get you guys out of here by 12. So if we have very specifics or anybody online, you can come to me in class, or excuse me, not in class, but after class or somewhere you see me free at the gym, and I will gladly help you guys with that. Is there any questions on that sample meal plan or the recipes or anything like that, guys? That second packet? Did you get a packet, Corey? Okay.
They'll need to tweak the settings in MyFitnessPal.
Yeah.
34.
Okay, guys. So great. Another thing. Your settings in MyFitnessPal should be 40% carbs, 30% protein, 30% fat. Okay? That's what we're leaning on now.
40 carbs and it's 330.
That's in there. It tells you by protein,
Yeah,
carb,
if you
fat,
could-
the percentage.
Just writing it down on the front.
To keep it.
Sharon.
So this table meal plan kind of like a whole meal, like we were talking about nutritionally.
Yes. This would sit with your 40, 30, 30.
Okay, but in FitnessPal, the app, is it going to be a calorie-based thing where they're trying to keep us under a certain calories and this would go over that amount?
They are. If you stay towards that low end, it's going to keep you within a range.
You can tweak all that in MyFitnessPal. So you're going to have to go in and change what we want the ratio to be, 30, 40, 40 in settings. And then you can control how many calories you're taking in too. Okay.
Pay no attention. 40, 30, 30, guys. 40, 30, 30.
Okay, so would
He went over.
I like kids.
You both.
40, 30, 30. Yeah. 110%.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm going all in. I'm doing 110%. Sharon, did that answer your question, darling?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that what was more important, should we go over our calories a little bit, that we have a whole meal?
Hit your numbers. We may have to tweak. I want you to stay closer to your calorie number. Yes. Yes, I would rather you stay closer to your calorie number. Now, if it's weird, like you're way under or you're way over, come see me because we need to adjust something. Okay, guys, that's anybody in here. I'm not just talking to Sharon. If you're way over on your number, like you're eating way over and you're eating the low end or whatever, there's something is off in that calorie count. Come see me and we'll figure out what's going on there. Man, it's all based off your body weight, and I don't have a specific answer for that. I've always just kind of gone with the phone and the setup. I don't have a specific answer for you on that, Kim. Yeah. Hey, have you? Yeah.
And then you tweak that stuff up and down too. You go, I mean, you be honest with yourself and you go, look, hey, I'm eating this meal plan. I'm like balancing everything and I haven't lost weight. Okay, dial the calories down.
Exactly.
Or I'm not gaining the muscle. Okay, dial the calories up. Okay. Makes sense? So, I mean, you got to get in control first where you know what's going in and what's going out, and then you're going to be in control and you can turn up and down.
So, like on this meal plan, how many days are they taking nutritionists and dietitians are thinking that people should be working out? Like 3 days?
For sure, 3. That's set based off a 3 to 4 day typical workout schedule. Really, it's like 3 to 5.
And that may adjust to the fitness pal too.
Now, guys, my only thing, like, I don't want you entering your exercise in. Don't enter, I exercise. It's going to give you more calories, tell you can eat more calories. Don't do that. Okay. So whatever exercise you did, don't enter that in. Enter your water, and enter your meals.
What's up, Kim?
Eating a breakfast like this for me would not. I can't wake up early enough to eat that breakfast.
It's gonna.
You switch take your snack and eat that before your workout. So like the snack, I like protein pancakes and almond butter and water. Like that's a right amount of food then before, and then just move my breakfast back to later.
That would be that's exactly how I would do it.
Switch that way, like
I would
just because I'm working out so early.
Yep.
To get up early to eat, that's too big.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and remember now.
That's exactly what I do, Caleb.
You know, and stay like you might have to tweak that snack, and then you have to get that fat in later on because I want you to eat carbs and protein before your workout in that little.
Okay. So some of these snacks would be better than others.
Yep. For your schedule.
Yeah.
Depending on your schedule, guys, like she works out at 5 a.m. She wants to eat something, but she just woke up at 4:15. You know, or at 4:45, and she's got to get here by 4:50. You know, sometimes it's hard to eat your eggs and. So, guys, did you catch that though? So, yes, you know, you're gonna have to move some things around. As long as you're consistent with it and you're logging it, you'll know where you're at, guys. And this gives you a head start towards getting your physique right and tight in 2017. Woo! Any more questions, guys? You have 1 minute on that clock. 2 on that one. Oh, 1 on that one. You guys good to go? Yes, Carrie.
Okay, so I was just saying how much we talk a lot about like pH. Is that important or
If it is important. If you eat like this, like you're gonna be good. Yep. I mean, if you're eating, what's that? Yeah, you know, like Erin touched on that. You know, where she's like, and she says the same thing. Like, don't start going like, oh, I need more plums in my diet. Like, if you're eating level. If your pH is off, you're eating something that's out of whack. You know what I mean? What do you got, Carrie?
Okay, so I'll eat like really healthy meal. I have something just to eat after every meal. Should I eat fruit or should I just rebalance everything?
Rebalance everything. Maybe you're not eating enough vegetables. Yeah. That too. Clint Holt says it's Girl Scout cookie season. Y'all stay safe out there.
Clem, they have a paleo version, brother.